And pushing the button on this tabletto means that I am live. Yep, it's another episode of Bryno's World Live. And I will confess that I'm not quite totally finished setting up. I'm in the finishing stages, but still got a little bit of stuff to do. But thank you for tuning in live. As you've seen by the title, I'm intending to make some ravioli, specifically some deep fried ravioli. I know Bob the Raptor suggested doing corned beef for St. Patty's Day, but I didn't want to risk that. But I'm willing to try unknown stuff, but I don't know. But in the St. Patty's Day theme, I will be doing something different, and I will be making green deep fried ravioli. How am I going to do that? I'm going to incorporate a green ingredient into the dough, namely this stuff, spinach. It's a common ingredient used in pasta to turn it green, and that's necessitating a little bit more prep work, a little bit more stuff I got to do. So let's see who's in the chat room. If anybody, oh, Michelle is here. Good to see you again. I'm here. I would really like some ravioli right now. Getting hungry. Spinach. I don't know if that means you like spinach or not, but I don't think you'll be tasting it as much because there's one step I got to do before I incorporate that into the dough, and that is I've got to cook it for about a few minutes, and I'm waiting for the water to boil up, and at the same time I've got the oil just slowly heating up. I think I'll just turn it down a little bit just to make sure. Actually, you know what? I'm turning it off. Turning the oil off just to be on the safe side because I don't want crazy burnination everywhere. Pop the chat out here into a different bit here. You love it, love ravioli. I don't know anybody that doesn't love ravioli. It's something that you have to love. I mean, it's very, very versatile. Lots of fillings you put in. Speaking of filling, I'm not going to use ricotta cheese this time. I'm going to use fresh mozzarella. With this, I don't think I have to run it through the sieve or through the cheesecloth or through the paper towels to rid it of all its moisture. This, I think, is just firm enough. Plus, I think it's a little bit easier for me to work with, and I like mozzarella better, so there you go. And I don't have to add eggs to it either. But meanwhile, waiting for this water to boil, I'll maybe do a little bit more prepping while I'm right up at the spinach there while the water's cooking. And usually I put a little bit of, where is the wax paper? I think I gotta get a new roll ready. Brand new package. I hope I don't cut my hand against these blades here that are hidden probably somewhere. There we go. There's no puppy thing. So what do we have here? Anxious to see how the mozzarella does. I'm not anxious. I'm more excited. I mean, you can call it anxious, but yeah, I'm hopeful. Fresh mozzarella is always good in pretty much anything. So anyway, let's move you out of the way. Make it easier to roll the dough out. Got my ravioli maker right here. And incidentally, if you're watching, please feel free to leave a comment. Love chatting with you guys as always. There we go. There's that. Tape these in place just to keep the wax paper steady. There we are, that's good. One more ingredient. Our second ingredient's the eggs. And actually, oh, there I see a little bit of steam on this there. Also, let's get my deep fry station ready to go. Get that out of the way. Some of the breadcrumbs in there. Only the finest generic brand Italian breadcrumbs. Dump a little bit of flour into this. Let's see, Michelle says it's hard to watch this without the opportunity to taste. But that's the good thing. You can watch me do it and then you can try it yourself. Of course, yeah, you can get around it somehow. Let's see. I'm only using a spoon because it's convenient. I think it's more than good. And now, and lastly, I think, where is the whisk? The whisk is right here. The whisk of destiny. How does this egg carton work? It works by opening it. Get some egg into here. Aye! Phew! No shells in anywhere. Thank goodness. Into the sink you go. Now beat this thing up a little bit. I don't know if this will be enough for. Don't know if this will be enough for 12 raviolis. You know, I might just beat a second egg in here. You know what, heck with it. That's what I'm going to do right now. Bob the Raptor. Hello, Bob. As you can see, I sort of took your idea, but not totally. If you just joined, I am making deep fried ravioli, but keeping with the spirit of St. Patty's Day, I'm going to try and make green deep fried ravioli. And I'm going to do that by adding this bit of spinach to the dough. And I can't just put it in by itself. I got to cook it first, then put it in the food processor, blend it with all the other ingredients. So that's what I'm doing right now, waiting for the water to come to a boil to cook the spinach. And while I'm waiting, I'm doing some last minute prep work and making the fry station. That is the extra flour, the breadcrumbs, and as you can see here, the eggs. And hope I don't get it all over me. Oh. Moderate success. Don't think I got it on the table, didn't get it on me. Only on my hands, and that's expected. Yeah. Don't go down there yet. See. I've also got some water here in the freezer here. It said you're supposed to, after these are done cooking, immediately drop them in ice water to stop the cooking and give them a really, really good green color. While I'm waiting for that, let's whisk some eggs up for the deep fry mix. In the comments, I'm chatting amongst you guys. So I'll get to the cooking and to the good stuff in just a second as soon as the rest of the stuff cooperates. Oh, water looks like it's starting to boil. There's the bubble, 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 bubble action. Come on. This is so exciting, can't you see? Alright, I am satisfied with this level of egg beatenness. So, that goes there. That goes there. What next do I need to do? I was going to get a strainer, if I have one in here, or if I put it somewhere else, because my kitchen is so highly organized. You know what? I usually have it in that drawer. Or is it behind there? Well, you know what? I'll use the medium-sized one. Do it in 2 goes. So anyway, the water is now at a good, decent boil. So now let us cook our spinach. What was it I'm gonna do? Set timer for 4 minutes. And now, bleh, bleh, and bleh, and bleh. Start the time. Get that spoon back. A little bit of rinsing. So here we go. Boil me some spinach. And in fact, let's get you in a little bit closer on this action as well. Actually, I'm not sure you even need to cook it for that long. Oh, and of course, I pushed the wrong button and there's no timer going. You know what? I think the instructions I saw is called for frozen spinach, so this fresh spinach I think will take a lot quicker, so let's go for 1 more minute. I'm going to wing it here. While I'm waiting. That should cook down to about a tablespoonful. Well, it's going to make the dough really green. That's pretty much the only purpose of the spinach here. Okay, turn that off. Turn this off. Strain it out. Get that out. Yeah. Oh, ouch. Hot water is hot. Who would have thought? I think I got the water more green than anything else. Neat tip at home. Now you know how to make green water. And I think all of the nutrients of the spinach are now in there. But we only need the spinach's color. Okay. While that cools a little, I'm going to dump this. Cook it with a tablespoonful, maybe 2. You know what? That's all I need. It looks pretty dark green to me. Don't know about you, but it looks really dark green to me. So now let's move this over. Over here. Don't want the tape there anymore. Move stuff all around, and at the same time I'm going to turn on the oil at a low level just to get something going there, so I don't have to waste a lot of time. But again, who would have thought hot things are hot? I almost lost me spinach. And now what I gotta do is properly drain and dry this spinach. I might just wait with this. Oh, I forgot one thing to do. Get this into ice water. Let this sit for a little bit. I'd forgotten to do this because I'm an idiot. I don't know if it's too late, but I think it's good. I'm scrambling a whole lot more on this episode than I've done previously. And it's only about 15 minutes in. Oh, why did I take that away? This water here has been in the freezer for maybe about 15 minutes or so. And I think this is probably cold enough now. So now I'm going to squeeze out the water, if I can get a good angle here, and squeeze the water out of these spinach leaves, because I don't want too much water in these pasta dough, otherwise it'll get runny and have to add a lot more to it. So squeeze as much water as I can out of this. And in fact, I'm going to aid it more by all those grip exercises at the gym would come in handy. And incidentally, if I feel like the dough's a little gloppy even after squeezing as much water as I can, I think I'll just fix that by adding a little bit more flour. So just to hedge my bets here, just try to make this stuff properly as an idiot like me can. Hindsight, I probably should have done this step beforehand, but it's too late now. Yeah, we go, getting some of the water out of here. And it's feeling like a glop here, because it is a glop. Here, look for yourself. Does that look like a nasty, disgusting glop to you? It looks like something I shall not mention on camera. Oh, this is water and leaves, spinach leaves. Now let's dry them out a little bit more with some of these here napkins. I would use paper towels, but I don't have any. I forgot to get some at the store. And this ice water. Don't need that no more either. I think that will do for now. As good as it's going to get. Plus, I usually add water to this mix of pasta and egg anyway. So anyway, this is the lump of cooked, boiled, and strained as much as possible spinach, which will go into the dough. Hopefully make it a nice green. in honor of St. Patty's Day. Did I say words there? But anyway, get the wax paper out of the way. Let's get back to work. Next step in making the dough is obviously making the dough. Now, where's my measuring cup? Meanwhile, let's take a look on the chat room if I can't find anything. You were pretty close. That looks like maybe 1 3/4 of a tablespoon. Well, let's call it 1 1/2. Split the difference. How's that? So anyway, where is the 3/4 cup measure? So now the usual recipe: 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. I've since discovered that for homemade flour, all-purpose is actually the perfect thing to use for the homemade pasta. The semolina flour is usually best for just the extruded factory-made pasta. Doesn't really add any extra benefits doing it at home. That is what I've heard from the masters anyway. So there we are. Little bit of flour. Next, add in a large egg. Should probably do it over this. Ooh, that was a perfect cut, perfect crack. Throw some extra junk away. And now let's add this glop of spinach. Get that lid out of the way. Do not need it. I don't think I need this either. Let's put these eggs away, clear some space. Wait a minute, did something mess up here? No, it did not. But I will get started on blending the dough and see and pray and hope that I won't ruin it with this bit of spinach. And I also forgot I gotta get my little rubber spatula that is boogered up and cut up thanks to this blade here. So anyway, hold your ears. Here we go. I don't know about you, but that looks pretty green to me. That's the perfect type of pasta dough color for St. Patty's Day. Yeah, I'm glad nothing is sticking to the sides of the walls here. That's an added bonus. Let's do another little blendy here. It's breaking up, which tells me I need some more water. Let's get a little something and add some more water to it. Water in a cup. Put the cup down, because these things have suction cups, which is probably good for normal circumstances, but not for this. that rolling into a ball means I added just enough water. So let's get ready and make us some green ravioli. Michelle says perfect. It looks perfect to me. But looking perfect is only half the battle. Oh, almost cut myself on this blade here, and this is on the sticky side, but nothing a little extra flour can't rectify. And I'm just going to scrape up some more dough there. Put that away. Put that away. Put that in the back. And now let's move away to the pasta making position. Let's get this off camera, so mozzarella off camera as well. Knead the dough a little bit. So it does feel on the loose side, but you know, I think that'll be fine in the end. Move some more stuff out of the way. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in live, taking time out of your nights to watch an idiot cook some weird stuff. And again, if you got ideas of things I could cook, you know, hit me up on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, and heck, even in the chat room here. Again, this weird ravioli, partially Bob's idea. Again, he suggested corned beef ravioli, but I'm too much of a chicken to do that. Oh, that is super, super green. I'm wondering if I put too much water into this, or maybe I'm just too used to the ramen noodle batter just being very, very, very thick. And again, the spinach added some water to this, so that contributed to it as well. So we may be in for a fair amount of kneading here and adding of flour to this. Michelle never had corned beef ravioli, but it's really, really good. Seeing corned beef pierogies. I can't get over just how perfectly green the color of this stuff is. Though still feeling very, 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 very sticky. I'm nearly perfectly sure that's because I put too much water in this. But we'll add more flour gradually to rectify that, as I mentioned probably 2 or 3 times already. We'll say the dough is becoming a little bit more smooth, which is sort of kind of what you want. Or it's definitely what you want when you're making pasta dough. There we go. It's getting there. Fingers are feeling pretty doughy at the moment. Isn't this exciting? Alright, this is feeling a little bit thicker. You know what? I think I'm going to call this. I'm not going to use the trim on the sides here, so I think I'm safe in not using that, obviously. I don't think I have to worry about these edges being a little ribbed and ripped, so let's now let's move you out of the way so there's no action going on in the chat room. Let's back away a little more, because here comes the good part where I'm going to flatten this dough out to ravioli thickness. Triple check here. Yeah, that looks good. I think I forgot to turn in the knob. Yes, I did. Another check. Yeah, it's fine. Level 4. There we go. Flattening, 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 flattening. Check this. Yep. One more roll, and it should be ready to prepare for ravioli-ness. Is that a word? It is now. This dough is pretty long. Okay, so now get the pizza wheel, if I find one. This'll do. So now let's make some raviolis. And there's one there. And you know what? For convenience, I'm just going to cut up both sides. There is dough layer 1 on top of there. So now let us create some cavities in this. Doing it ever so gently. And there we go. Those look like proper crevices for ravioli filling. So now to open up this thing of mozzarella, which I should have done beforehand. And now the question is, how do I cut up the mozzarella? Any suggestions in the chat room? And Michelle says it looks like a giant eel when it comes out of the pasta maker. You're probably not wrong there. How do I open up? This thing is just very, very stubborn and just very, very tightly wrapped, but then again, fresh mozzarella usually is. And I'm just going to go Neanderthal on this and just rip it up. Got eyeball slicing this here. Let me see, I'll cut this piece in half. Let's see. Mangle that into, that's too much I think for that. Rip a little piece off. Mash this up a little more. That looks like a good, and take a little more off. That looks like a good glop of mozzarella to me. That goes in there, that goes in there. This goes in my mouth because mozzarella is good. Fresh mozzarella is even better. Cut this slice into quarters. This chunk goes in there. This chunk goes in there. You know what? These chunks are a little too big. That goes in there, I think. goes in there, and I think this blobby mess will go in there. In the chat room it says, yes, next time buy mozzarella pearls or balls, or cut them with a melon baller. That's not a bad idea. Trader Joe's has the melon as mozzarella balls. There was a Trader Joe's extremely close to where I live, so I may do that, but I was just cheap and bought a big glob of mozzarella. I do not regret that decision. So here's a thinner slice of mozzarella, which I think will do better here. And now I'm going to, just for yucks, turn the oil up a little bit higher, because I'm nearing the point of getting ready to start deep frying this stuff. Roll that up, put that in there, another piece of mozzarella. Roll this up by hand. Put that in there. Another mozzarella piece. Roll it. Smoosh it up properly and get that. It's a little big, I think. Rip it up slightly. That looks good. Put that in there. And the last piece. I'll call that a good piece. So there we are. Mozzarella fillings for green ravioli. Let's cover up. This thing hasn't stuck together. No, it hasn't, thank goodness. I'm really good at thinking things through, aren't I? Anyway, now there's that, and now where is my rolling pin? It's right behind here. And now the delicate process of pressing them into raviolis. Looks like slicing them in quarters gave you about the same amount though, and probably a cost savings. There's definitely cost savings with that, so just learning on the fly, more or less. So anyway, my hope with these raviolis is that there's no protrusion from the bottom. Oh. I'll just roll them one more time to be safe. Looks like they're cutting very, very well along the sides. So to duplicate the effect this way, I'll roll it this way. Maybe I should have done it diagonally, but And now let's rip this excess dough. Incidentally, I think I got plenty of leftover dough. I might be able to make a little mini batch of spaghetti, but I might just do it off camera because I don't think I have enough time. Just see here. Cut this up a little bit more. I don't think I need to do this step. I'm just taking a little more insurance out. Here's one piece. That's another piece. These are looking mighty fine, mighty tasty, mighty. But I have to be careful with these just because I feel like this dough is like super, super fragile. And I don't want to rip any of these raviolis. But they're looking pretty good to me so far. Is this not the type of ravioli you would want to have on St. Patrick's Day? Perfectly green and filled with the loveliness that is mozzarella. Even though it's not an Irish ingredient, it's an Italian, but still. Well, it's all Italian except for the green color. But even there, the Italians do make verde pasta like this, so. But who cares? St. Patrick's Day, green. It fits the theme. Does it not? I think this one ripped a little bit. Crikey. This one is ruined. I think I forgot to grease or oil this thing before I created it, but And we have another protrusion. You know what? Quick repair job. Where's a fork? Let's repair this piece as well as I can. That ought to do. Let's try the same thing with this horribly ripped up one. I don't know. I don't think this will work. Let's get some extra doughs here, and there's too many broken bits in this one. But you know what? I'm gonna fry this up anyway. Maybe at the end, just as a for fun thing, just to see. Oh, I'm gonna squish this one up by hand and mangle it up, much as humanly possible. Have a little fun with it. Why not? It's my show. So what's going on in the chat room? Again, Michelle says they look perfect. Well, I would say 11 out of the 12 look perfect. But this is only not really half the battle. There's still one more step I gotta take care of. And that is breading these things for deep frying. Michelle says I would just eat it raw. I don't know if I would do that yet, but I'm kind of in a cooking zone right now, so. You know what? I'll eat this raw at the end. The other 11 I shall deep fry to goodness. Speaking of deep frying, let's get ready for our frying in the fry station. I think this plate, yeah, I'll leave that for whatever. We'll place the raviolis there once they're done. And now, put the uncooked raviolis there. I'm excited about this. I'm hoping that these raviolis the mozzarella in there might melt a little bit more to a form where it becomes more uniform, but it might also explode, so, and that's also fun too. As long as it's not in the oil and it goes all over my face. That would be painful. So anyway, let us start breading these raviolis. Here, let's do them. I don't think I need to do a whole lot of extra flour here. I'm wondering if this will remove some of the greenness in there, so. There's that. Wet hand. Dry hand. This is losing some of its greenness with the panko, or the Italian breadcrumbs. Oh well. At least we saw them green here, so. If I was doing a normal video, this would be a part where I would just edit a lot of this crap out. Now you can see and appreciate the work that goes into my old school videos, making lots of stuff like this. There, that. Dry hand. Wet hand. this stuff here. This is probably going to be the longest video I've ever done, only because I did not anticipate what I had to do here, but anyway. There, more. 4 down, 7 to go. I think I'm going to boost the heat on the oil just a little bit as soon as I'm done with maybe this piece here. This is cool. And my tablet just died a little bit, so I might not see any comments from y'all. Asking me for a password. It's hard to do with these gloppy fingers. This is probably the most boring live Bryno's World show of all time. Let me see, up there we are. Michelle with the comments says, are those Italian style breadcrumbs? Yes, they are Italian breadcrumbs. This is an Italian recipe, so it's Italian ravioli, so I figured, yep, there would be appropriate for this. Six down, 5 to go. You know, I'm gonna try 2 at once. I don't think this will work, but let's try it anyway. I heard a buzz from something, but that's not important. And they are in there, in there. Why didn't I do 2 at once before? Because I don't think that's why. Me. Mumbling, rambling to myself, and to the 2 or 3 people that are watching this live. So there's 7 raviolis, and there's 8. 9, 10. Oh heck, let's try 3 at once. A 3-way. Threesome. Triple threat. Blop. Blop. I think I'm overdoing it with the 3 here in this tiny little bowl, but you know what? I think it'll be fine. It's kind of grumbled and mungled. Mungle ravioli into the bowl. Same with a yo. And now your turn, sir. And I'm getting egg all over the table and the floor. Plenty of cleanup after this show. Okay. These look like good, potentially fried raviolis. Let's turn it around. Get it to the, oh, there's the wok with the hot oil. I will wash my hands just because I don't want to have gunk on my hands when I'm doing deep frying action. I think they are still a little bit on the green side now that the I guess the eggs are kind of shining through a little bit, coming through. They're definitely more green than they would be if up. I heard something from the wok and I'm not sure what it is. You know, I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Do a quick temperature check just to make sure that this oil is not too hot or not hot enough. Mm, 300. Oh my goodness, this might be hotter than I want it to be. I think I'm going to turn this down a little more. I'm going to let this, or maybe this is just a bad thermometer, I don't know. But I'm kind of worried now. The last few times I've tried doing deep frying stuff with this, I think I may have gotten the oil way too hot, at least in regular shows, so. Yeah, I'm definitely just going to let this go for a little bit. I had another thermometer somewhere though, but I'm not sure where I put it. Or maybe it's in one of these drawers here somewhere, I don't know, but either way, unless it's somewhere right in front of my face, which is not outside of the realm of possibility. But anyway, let's get a close-up look at these raviolis here before the deep fry. Not sure if this will be of any use here, the slotted spoon, but, or a plastic one anyway with hot oil, but actually no, I am not going to risk it. You know what, heck, this thing is here, might as well make use of it. I think all the water's gone from this, so there's not going to be any extra danger for that. Just building up anticipation for the right moment to start frying this stuff. Where is my... Let's go back to the thermometer. The temperature of this stuff changes, or at least of oil, changes much quicker than water does, so, you know, this oil is plenty hot. Ah! That did not sound good at all. This is making me nervous. Turn the oil down not all the way, but really, really low. But you know what? I'm not very patient right now. So I'm just gonna not take too many chances. I'm only gonna fry maybe a few of them at a time. Maybe for, I'm trying to think, maybe 2 minutes at the tops, or until they get nice and golden brown. So anyway, here comes the moment of truth. Here we are, green deep fried ravioli, batch number, you know what? I think I got enough oil. I'll just do 4 in this batch here. Yep, 4. And some of the, oh, I'm getting even more nervous. Some of the crap came off of this. But anyway, here we go. 4 deep fried raviolis, batch number 1. Here we go.
Looks like some of them are getting brown already or cooked on the outside already. So you know what? Oil is splattering everywhere. I'm going to call these done. They're looking and feeling kind of done already. So yep, this one is going out. So are you, my pretty? And I think I may have some leakage on that one. It's a good thing I called that one off early. So now let's go on to batch number 2. I'm going to do it 1 minute this time. Here we go. Be ready to intervene at the slightest sight of danger. So here's finally the fun part. And again, I'll repeat, I think I pulled these first batches of raviolis out at the right moment. They're golden brown, not the green anymore of St. Patrick's Day, but taste is what matters. And I think the first batch may have cooled the oil down on this a little bit, so it might be a little bit. Oh, no! And we have an explosion. This one is disqualified, and the timer just ended anyway. So sort of reminds me of those times when I tried to make mozzarella sticks. See some leakage, but this is kind of double breaded in a way because we got both the ravioli dough and the breading, so it's a double breach there. So anyway, last round, 3 raviolis. Here we go. This does make me kind of wonder what would happen if I used ricotta, my usual ricotta and egg mixture with the raviolis here, but that seemed like a lot of work, and I like mozzarella better, so yeah. And it does appear the oil temperature has dropped considerably, but it's too late now. Let this go maybe turn that off maybe 10 seconds more. 9, 8. Oh, I hear an explosion, so that's my cue to stop. Let's turn this off. And now that is done. The cooking is done. But these are ridiculously hot. Hot. H-A-W-T, hot. Alright, but now let's have some fun with the thumbnail. I know I haven't done these for weeks, so let's do it anyway. Take a look at that. That is 11 deep fried raviolis with spinach dough, even though you can't tell. looks kind of shaped kind of like a fish. But we don't want to eat fish. At least I don't want to eat fish. I want to eat those raviolis. So let's reset into the ready position. As my cell phone says network overload, so you're going to be experiencing some buffering a little bit. Blue Raz Gamer Blue, hi. Hello to you too. So, while we are, for those of you who just joined in late, I am deep frying some ravioli, or I have deep fried some ravioli, and tried to use green pasta dough in honor of St. Patrick's Day. As you may not be able to tell, the green didn't really come through in the deep frying, but this is what one of these things looks like raw before putting in the flour, egg, and panko. Let's get a closer up view of that if that doesn't look totally boogered up. So anyway, on Michelle's suggestion, I'm going to eat this one raw, just for a comparison's sake, and plus, just so you can see me eat something green on St. Patty's Day or the day before. So anyway, here we go. Uncooked mozzarella green ravioli. Cheers. Tastes like ravioli and pasta dough. Who would have thought? Mostly of mozzarella, and I'm getting some of the raw pasta dough as well. Definitely get the raw dough flavor at the beginning. And I think the stuff will be best if cooked, obviously. Pasta, I mean, there's lots of doughs that were meant to be eaten raw. Cookie dough is one thing. Pasta dough, however, not one of them, I would say. But now let's get to the good stuff. The deep fried raviolis, and oh, these feel perfectly crunchy. The breadiness looks great. I'm gonna have this one that's got a little bit of the mozzarella exploding at the top. So anyway, let's give it a smell first. Smells like a deep fried item to me. So anyway, I'm excited for this. I'm hoping that there's more cheese than there is dough and there are air pockets in here, but anyway, enough of me stalling. Let's get to eating. Deep fried green ravioli, even though it doesn't look green. Here we go. Oh. Tastes good. In retrospect, though, I think the mozzarella may not have been the best choice because it ended up really, really chewy and stringy. Who would have thought? Mozzarella. Chewy and stringy on a pizza, chewy and stringy inside ravioli. But it's still pretty good, though. One more. The Italian breadcrumbs help out a lot. Gives a little extra punch. A little bit of a extra flavor to it. What it says? So, do you like the mozzarella better than the ricotta? I like mozzarella over ricotta, but for this application, maybe the ricotta may have been the best choice, but I think I was just lazy and didn't want to prepare a ricotta mixture. I thought mozzarella would suffice, but it doesn't taste bad at all. I mean, it tastes good, but for ravioli, the classic ricotta would have been the best, I think. Or maybe a half and half blend of the two. That might be what I try next. I just didn't want to add about extra egg mixture to the ricotta, as well as wring out all the excess water in a ricotta. So maybe there's another. Maybe cottage cheese would be good, or maybe I may have the same problem too. But either way, there's room for improvement, but not a whole lot because these are These are really, really good. Oh. Mm, 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 mm. And you still see some of the greenness when you pull it away from your mouth, and you see the greenness in the of the dough when you remove some of the cheese. That is, unless you eat it all in one bite, like so. Mm. Mm. I am happy. Mm. I'm happy. Mm. Getting hot, getting hot. Wow. I think I'm definitely onto something with those things there in this recipe. Just gotta figure out the perfect filling for this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be cheesy. I'm probably have to do the ricotta thing because that's what you're supposed to do with ravioli. But again, it doesn't have to be cheese. It could be maybe a type of meat, or maybe ground beef or pork, or any kind of meat you can put inside ravioli. Maybe turkey. Or, like I was going to do originally, corned beef. But there's plenty of choices there. Maybe that could be what I do a month from now if I want to try this again. But anyway, this has been one of my longer videos live, so I think I better cut it while I'm still ahead. And I got plenty bit of a mess to clean up here. Before I do that though, we check the chat room one last time. Cottage cheese would be interesting. Michelle, half and half. Half ricotta, half cottage, or maybe three-way of all the mozzarella, ricotta, and mozzarella. I'm going to take that out. There are plenty of options though. Maybe all of them are worth exploring. Maybe next time. But until then, that will do it for another episode of Bryno's World Live here. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you've got ideas for things that I can do on another live stream, leave a comment down below or something in the chat room, or hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, Bryno's World. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Most of you have already, and I thank you very, very much. And again, like I said, hit me up on Facebook, Twitter with questions and stuff. I've got an Instagram, which I never use. And I got a shop, which nobody ever buys anything from, so buy if you want. If not, that's okay. But all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a good one. Any last minute messages here? Enjoying those a little too much. Michelle says, enjoy Bryno as always. And thank you for watching, as always. And once again, thank you for watching again. And have yourself a good one. Now let's see if I can't find the button that says stop streaming. And there it is. Okay. Once again, have a good one. Bye-bye.